fat as a cat. Hi, Allie. I have been looking for an affordable wide-angle lens for Micro Four Thirds for a while now, and I think this is it. What's up, everybody? It's me, Steve, and on today's show, we're taking a look at the 7Artisans 7.5mm f2.8 lens for Micro Four Thirds. This is the full-frame equivalent of a 15mm f5.6. It is, in fact, a manual focus lens. More on that in a minute, but yeah. I've had this lens for the past few days, and spoiler alert, I like it a lot. Build quality of this lens is really good. It's a super sturdy all-metal design, and you do have an aperture ring as well. It fits perfectly on a Micro Four Thirds camera. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. Also, you do get that all-metal lens cap with this. So yeah, let's jump outside and take a look at this in the real world. While I was out walking, it dawned on me that the new addition to the church actually looks really cool, especially at night with the lights shining up at it. So I think I'll drive over there. I don't know if that parking lot is finished. I don't know if you can actually drive into there, but I'd like to walk up there and try to see if I can get a cool picture of the church with this lens. Because, you know, this wide angle lens should be perfect for that. I thought I was going to be able to get a cool picture of the new part of the church, but the problem is I didn't realize there's no parking lot in front of it. It's literally just a lake, and all of that's grass. But at least I can kind of come around like to the side here, maybe. Maybe I can walk in this wet grass. Cool, they've got that light on that pole right there that shines directly up to the cross. That's super cool looking. That's a shame. I wish I could get right about over here behind me, but that well, that was pretty cool. I couldn't get the whole scene that I usually see when I'm across the street there, but one or two of those pictures look like they might actually be pretty good. Also, I do kind of wish this lens had autofocus. This will also serve as a test of how this lens handles, like, is it warpy in the corners or is it actually pretty smooth? Because this is a pretty good field of view for just filming, like vlogging like this. There, how about there? Yeah, that's a pretty good looking shot. As long as it's not too warpy in the corners, I would definitely film with this setup. This lens and the Olympus E-M1 Mark II. Here we go, we're just walking like normal, not trying to step easily or anything like that. How does this actually look? By the way, I wish Olympus had auto ISO and manual mode. It does not. Okay, I came across the street now. Figured if I park at this apartment complex here, I can see the view that I was looking for, although I'm probably going to be too far away. If that's the case, I might just have to abandon this photo, but yeah, luckily the gate was open here, so I was able to just come right in. I don't think they have assigned parking. I think I can just park here. I don't know. Let's see. See, here's where I am all the way across the street. I think, just judging by this, we're going to be way too far away, but let's walk down a little bit and see if we can get a little closer. Okay. I don't think any of this footage is going to be usable. It is so dark out here. There's like literally no light whatsoever. Shout out to the Olympus for handling this total low light video. But yeah, let's see. The problem is I think I would have to be actually out in the street to get the picture that I was trying to get, but let's see if we can at least get close enough to get something even remotely respectable. I don't know, it's further away than what I was hoping for, but maybe it can still look cool. I have to see it on the computer. Oh man. Anyway, long walk back to the car. Cannot believe how cold it has gotten. Okay, here is another quick stabilization test. It looked okay to me in that footage from last night, but it was too dark, so I couldn't really see the corners. So I want to do this again with what little bit of daylight we actually have today. Let's see, is it super warpy in the corners, or is it actually all right? Because I've had pretty good luck with Olympus's stabilization. I'm thinking this should actually look okay. And by the way, this field is completely uneven, and I'm not trying to step lightly or anything like that. I'm just walking around at a normal pace. Another interesting thing about this lens is I was a little bit hesitant because it's not rectilinear like the 7Artisans 9mm full-frame lens that I did a few weeks ago. And so I thought like the fisheye look was going to be kind of bad and there was going to be a lot of that just super warpy corners, but I gotta say, it doesn't look that bad to me. I mean, none of this in this video has been corrected in any way, shape, or form. You're just looking at it straight out of camera. Now, obviously, if you're a real estate photographer or a landscape photographer, then you're probably gonna, well, not probably, you're gonna have to correct that in post, but for someone like me who's just making YouTube videos the majority of the time, this is fine. I don't mind this at all. I mean, look at the trees in the background. I was expecting them to be completely curved over like a C shape, like when you use a GoPro without stabilization and you see it at like the absolute widest setting and it looks ridiculous. That's not bad, man. I mean, look, they're still just straight up and down. How about over here? Look, it just looks normal. It's not bad. You know, I gotta say, I had been thinking of that Panasonic 9mm lens, especially for like filming these types of YouTube videos. I do like that lens is 1.7 and it has autofocus, although 1.7 on micro four thirds is still only like 3.4, so that's not that big of a deal. But the one thing that I've noticed is this lens seems to be doing everything that I need for these walk and talk segments. I mean, yes, I am having to like manually focus, and with my eyesight especially, I've got to kind of punch in and make sure it's actually in focus, but 2.8 seems to be fine. I mean, we're here at sunset. There's not really a whole lot of light left on this cloudy day, and it's doing a great job of exposing. I don't know, man. I think this might be my new go-to lens for vlogging on micro four thirds. I went back and watched some of the footage. I noticed that in terms of vlogging with this camera, it's actually pretty doable. You know, especially with the stabilization on an Olympus E-M1 Mark II. The footsteps, like that up and down motion, that's not really as big of an issue as I thought it was going to be. The Olympus is actually handling that pretty well. The problem that I see is its hand movement. Anytime your hand is kind of moving side to side like that, that's just creating warpiness in the corners. The other thing too is your arm. Like anytime your arm's just kind of moving around when you're walking, that's also contributing to that warpiness. I think if you keep your hand and your arm steady, this is a pretty decent option for a vlogging lens on micro four thirds. Part of the problem with filming YouTube videos is you're at the mercy of the weather. And the weather where I have lived, it's not great. It has rained every day for, what feels like the past 37 years. And on the days that it doesn't rain, it's just super cloudy like this. We haven't had any sunlight in like what, probably about 2 months at this point. Anyway, just trying to get some sample photos from this camera. In terms of performance, this lens is actually pretty solid. Like a lot of lenses, it's sharp in the center and a little bit softer in the corners, but if you stop down, they will get sharper the higher you go. Although, keep in mind, this is a 2.8 lens, which is basically an f5.6 full frame equivalent, so if you're working in low light, you are going to be filming at higher ISOs. That's something worth considering. Otherwise, I notice I don't really even see a whole lot of vignetting. I mean, this is just a very dark, dreary day, but even when I was filming like indoors and other environments, there's not really a whole lot of vignetting, which is a nice surprise on a lens that's this wide. Overall, yeah, I've been really happy with the performance of this lens. That's another thing that I noticed with this lens. As someone who films a lot of backlit stuff, this lens not only handles lens flare pretty well, but it handles it in a way that's kind of nice and pleasant. I don't know, the more I look at like the footage of these wheatgrass over here, whatever this is, I really like that footage. It looks good. I have really enjoyed the past few days just filming and taking pictures with this lens. This setup in particular has been awesome. I love this lens with the Olympus E-M1 Mark II. It's been such a good combo. I would definitely say for any photographer who uses Micro Four Thirds and you're into like landscapes and stuff like that, this is definitely a lens worth checking out. Same could be said too for like if you're into real estate, but you will have to correct some of that distortion in post. The other cool use that I see for this lens, I grew up skateboarding, and to me, this does seem like it would be an excellent lens for filming skate clips. You know, it's super wide, and even though it is manual focus, if you just stop it down to about f5.6 or f8 and set the focus to about infinity, you're probably going to have pretty much everything in focus anyway. This would make a really cool setup for just filming any kind of like random skate clips. Also, in terms of YouTube, I do like the idea of this lens for any type of walk and talk segments. This has been so much better than what I actually thought it was going to be. Olympus's image stabilization actually does a pretty good job paired with this lens. I mean, it's not going to be as steady as an action camera, but it is workable. It's definitely usable. Also, I would say just filming these types of like talking segments, this would also be a really good lens for that as well. Overall, I've been really impressed with this. Anyway, I think that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.